there is inequality in labor that is classified as with compensation and without compensation, or with pay and without pay, which we will be discussing now. With pay and without pay labor, or labor without pay. If work is done without payment, either in cash or kind, so there is no cash, no kind given for labor, then it is called labor without pay. Very, very important definition. Such works are called labor without compensation. Students, if you face difficulty in learning the spelling of compensation, break it down. Comp is there in computer also. Comp, C-O-M-P, N-E-N, sation, S-A-T-I-O-N, C-O-M-P-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N. Break it, learn it. Often, very often, labor becomes an activity without monetary or material benefit. In payless work, the worker cannot be compensated for his work. Do you all know of any such examples? There are so many. The most common example would be our very own mothers and grandmothers who cook at home. There is no compensation ever given, but if we hire a cook from outside, or if we go out to hotels to eat every single meal, we pay for it. So that is a labor without compensation. Another example could be if we employ someone for work as a security guard, or let's say in the office we hire someone for a job, but then we do not pay them, then that is also called labor without compensation or labor without pay. Why does this happen? This work often happens within the family. Why? Due to love, by status, or out of self-motivation, but in some cases it also happens by force. Another example is that of students taking part in the activities or Scouts and Guides, NCC, as a part of the schooling. You are not paid to do this. Sometimes you as students may be assigned a particular work as a part of your coursework. Like for example, if you are wanting to become a mechanical engineer, you may be asked to do an internship in a mechanical engineering company. But during the internship, if the regular employees are being paid 25,000 per month, you as an intern may just be given a small stipend. Stipend means small compensation of 2 or 3,000. So it is still not up to the market standard. So during this time the students are paid, but they are not paid completely. ITI, technical courses, and nursing courses can be considered as examples too. Another example can be if an artist who normally sells paintings, but now if he is making painting for himself, that is also considered as labor without pay. The family-based work is most often found where we will see labor without pay. It's found work without pay category. In family setup, the burden of work is more on the woman. The issue of women working in the family without any compensation is very often discussed in the framework of feminism. What is feminism? When women's rights are supported and acknowledged, the movement or the idea is called feminism. Since women are bound by work at home, they are discouraged to go out and work again. So they do not get any work for compensation, but they get a lot of work without pay. This has made women the unpaid workers in the family. Though they participate in various works of the family, her contribution has no recognition. And nowadays, it is being said that the work of women in the family is more and more important. By declaring so, the women are being restricted to family and family related work only. So because their work at home is considered so important, they don't get the freedom to go out and explore different kinds of work for which they can get compensation. So students, in your case, I would encourage you to do what you are good at. If you are good at hairstyling, if you are good at maths, if you want to be a scientist, if you want to be an astronomer, whatever you dream, whether you are a male or female, you should go and fulfill your dreams. Work hard towards it and make it happen. Fulfill your roles in the family. All you boys out there, learn life skills, learn how to cook, learn how to clean. You should know to do everything. For we are human beings. Before being male and female, we are all human beings. So we should know to do all kinds of work that are essential for living our life. That could include cooking, it could include cleaning, it could include, for girls, it could include going and earning and living out of earnings that you have earned yourself. Now let's go to the next topic, labor with pay. Now we discussed everything about labor without pay. It's mainly in families. Women are subjected to more conditions where there is labor without pay. Now let's discuss labor with pay. The labor which gets compensation based on hours, days or months for semi-skilled or skilled work is considered as labor with pay. The payment given to labor is called as wages. Both the definitions are important. What is labor with pay? What are wages? The total pay that is given based on total work is called as wages. Wages are given based on hours, days, weeks or month. Labor in small business and roadside business, work in factories, work in schools as assistant teachers, building work, vehicle repair garages, agricultural farm, all of these can be grouped under labor with pay, that is labor with wages. Though the compensation or though the payment or the wage is meager, meager means very little, it becomes inevitable for the people to work in this complex social scenario. In the most cases, the workers would not get the expected wages also. So why sometimes when the payment is so little, people still work? Because otherwise they would not get that bare minimum payment as well. Compensation. What is compensation? It is an agreement. Agreement between who? Two of them, the worker and the owner. Again, definition and meaning of compensation is very important. Can compensation always be in the form of cash? Is it compulsory, or can it be in the form of other benefits like housing, car, a trip and so on? It can be in other forms of material as well. In traditional societies, in the old and traditional societies, each person had a customary and hereditary profession. We have discussed in the Varna system, a king's child will always be a king, a Brahman's child will always be a Brahmin, a cobbler's child will always be a cobbler. Such was the tradition in the olden traditional societies. Hence, people were dependent on each other in the social environment because there was no mobility. Like a cobbler will never learn the job of a farmer. So, they were always dependent on each other. The money was in least circulation. They used to not circulate money, but they had barter system. Like I will go to the cobbler and be like, I'll give you 2 kgs rice, you give me 1 pair of shoes. Harmony and coexistence among various castes was desirable for the society to function well. So there was the barter system. It was more popular in village setup. In most of the cases, the physical labor was compensated with material food grains. So in barter system, what they would do, they would make them work on agricultural farmlands, and instead of paying them in cash, they would give them food grains, let's say 10 kgs of rice, 20 kgs of dal and so on. With the increase in the usage of money, But later, money became very important. More and more people started to learn how to use money. The practice of providing monetary compensation. Then they no more gave compensation as food grains. They started paying them money.